सीमेंट कंपनियों के प्राइस मैनिपुलेशन को लेकर आपकी मिनिस्ट्री ने इसमें इंक्वायरी होल्ड की थी, एक रिपोर्ट आई है, तो अभी क्या उस रिपोर्ट में कहा गया है, किस स्टेज पे इंक्वायरी है अभी?
The SFIO has already concluded the inquiry. They sent up a report to the government. That report is under consideration of the government. And the other matter is before the same issue on the some other matters. They are before the Competition Commission and they are not yet given the verdict.
So जो SFIO की रिपोर्ट आई है उसमें क्या एस्टैब्लिश हुए हैं चार्जेस उनके अगेंस्ट जो प्राइस मैनिपुलेशन?
I think if I remember correct, after having seen that report, they say that there is no such thing as a cartelization. But there are some other aspects they are commented upon, but we are not given a finding on that.
Okay. So क्या aspect है वो?
I do not comment at this stage because it is still under the serious consideration of the government and what steps we under law we can take.
सर एक आपने इंटरेस्टिंग चीज आप जिसके ऊपर आप काम कर रहे हैं, छोटे निवेशकों के लिए, स्मॉल इन्वेस्टर के लिए शेयर मार्केट के एक इंश्योरेंस स्कीम इंट्रोड्यूस करना, सर क्या उसके अभी किस स्टेज पर है, कब तक ये इंट्रोड्यूस होता है?
That's an idea which is coined by me. I conceived that idea. But at the same time, we need to talk to some stakeholders and including the insurance company, whether any such scheme can be, taken forward. And of course, there is no question of government funding such projects. It has to come from either a portion of it, a component of it will have to come from the small depositor or the small shareholder, or it should come from the various respective companies. That's a matter which we will need to contemplate. But the question now, because there are a lot of vanishing companies, there are a lot of companies which have committed fraud, disappeared from the scene. But these small depositors or the small shareholders, they have become real victims. Ultimately they need to be protected.
So इसमें government का क्या role होगा? Funding government?
We can only put a mechanism, regulator or certain schemes into it, and that scheme can be operated by the government, or we can monitor that scheme. That's all.
Okay. So आपने कहा operated by the government, वो किस तरीके से, मतलब क्या सोच है इसके पीछे?
We can do that. We can either monitor it, to ensure that happens, or in the regulatory process we can also ensure that that happens, so that no corporate company will just escape with immunity.
Okay. So इससे एक ध्यान में आया है, स्पीक एशिया कंपनी थी, मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग कंपनियों में से एक, और इस तरह की कई कंपनियां हैं जो कंज्यूमर्स के साथ फ्रॉड करती हैं और उनका पैसा इकट्ठा करती हैं, और जिसका कोई पता नहीं है, इंडिया में रजिस्टर्ड नहीं है। स्पीक एशिया के बारे में बात करें तो किस स्टेज पे इंक्वायरी है, अभी तक क्या देखने में?
इनफैक्ट ROC has already two of the ROCs, one in Delhi and another Bombay. They have conducted an inquiry and a thorough inquiry was made. They submitted a report now to the government. Then I saw that report also. I thought it is appropriate to entrust it to the SFIO. That's the right agency to further investigate on these things.
So SFIO अपनी रिपोर्ट कब तक सबमिट करेगा?
No, they have been asked to investigate into. They are ready to submit a report.
सर एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो एक मिनिस्ट्री के पास बिल है, कंपनीज बिल, जो काफी समय से पेंडिंग है, कब तक हम देखेंगे ये पार्लियामेंट के सामने लाया जाएगा? कब तक आपको लगता है ये?
Now that bill has matured enough to be taken up by the cabinet. We have already forwarded the bill to the cabinet, and possibly within 15 or 20 days it may come up before the cabinet for consideration. Immediately it is approved by the cabinet. We are going to present it in the next winter session of the parliament. Possibly by December 2011, I would like to ensure and persuade the parliament to pass that bill.
Okay. सर अभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि SFIO को जो है स्ट्रेंथन करना चाहिए। PMO की बैठक हुई थी आपकी मिनिस्ट्री के साथ, तो अब इसमें किस तरीके से आगे आप मूव करेंगे, कैसे SFIO को स्ट्रेंथन करना?
Yeah, because the SFIO was created only after this Satyam scandal. It was created by executive order, it hasn't got a statutory backing. Moreover, they don't have much powers for investigation. And after investigation, what happens? Should they entrust to the various other agencies like CBI or another thing, or they should handle it? And to handle it, we have to do a lot of capacity building. We have to give a lot of statutory backing to them. Then ultimately, the cases which are investigated by them, will have to be given to the special court, and we have made a provision for a special court to be established to inquire into these fraud cases and also give the total legislative backing to this SFIO so that they will have a lot of teeth, and ultimately that institution will be a highly professional organization, which will look into all fraud cases.
So, आपको कब तक लगता है ये SFI को strengthen का काम?
It is part of the company's bill. No sooner the company bill is passed, the whole lot of that independence or the professionalism or that entity getting all the powers will happen.